looking very preppy because he's kind of embraced this group dad mentality because he's the oldest and the biggest.
Nice.
Yeah, and so then we're starting out. We're getting all of the classics, right? So we're getting hot dogs and buns, because we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we can roast those over a campfire at some point, probably.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
right? We're gonna make sure that we get chips. Um, we're gonna make sure that we're getting with this bread. We're probably getting a jar of peanut butter and some jelly, just because we're gonna need that. Probably getting strawberry. Though that might be something, when they get to that aisle, he'll look over and kind of defer to Hannah of what Hannah thinks, because like there's just all these options, right? There's
Yeah.
strawberry and blackberry and
I
different
think
kinds.
between Hannah, Jason, and Wyatt, Hannah's been doing some babysitting. You've been making extra money. Not only doing like farm work and stuff, I'd imagine, but you actually got a job as a lifeguard,
I
which
did,
has
yep.
been paying quite well. And then Wyatt's comes from a rich family and has some money making stuff on the side that Hannah chooses to ignore and not talk about. Um, so like I think you're like strawberry and Hannah's like, of course, classic. But I think she also grabs grape. Like you're
Yeah,
almost like over preparing, right?
we're
Like
definitely
there's
we're buying way too, like, this cart is actually way too full. It looks like, because we're not, because how long are we staying there for? Like a
just two
week,
days.
like 2 days. But
Yeah.
we're like buying food like we're gonna be there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Uh, and so yeah, we're getting that. We're also gonna grab soda, like, because that's definitely the thing we need. We need sugary drinks. Even though we're being mature, but we're also
We'd probably
being a
call it
little.
pop.
We're definitely getting pop, yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get some pop.
Because Midwest, we're getting some pop.
Hmm. Where am
Um,
I at, by the way? Where's Wyatt? Is he?
You're with you're acting the adult
yeah,
for Jason
All
and
right,
David
perfect. I'm the
at the
money man.
sporting goods store.
I
Yeah.
like it.
yeah. You drove them over there. I actually drove over here because I now have access to a car.
Okay, cool.
My parents, because we made state and everything, have um, picked me up. What did we say, Kyle? Did we say a truck? Like
Yeah, you said like
a
an
Ford?
old beat up Ford
Yeah.
F-150 or something like
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Oh, it's like an '80s Ford Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I like
So it's a
that.
little bit smaller than the F-150, but it's
Okay, nice.
yeah, it's pretty good. But it's definitely like an '82 Ford
Doesn't stop
Ranger.
us all from piling into the back of the bed. Just cruising
Oh
on
yeah,
down.
no, it's very classic country time. Like we all pilot, like we're not supposed to, and like Jason like tries to make sure everyone's sitting down when you're doing it, but
Yeah, Hannah
we
hates it.
definitely Hannah won't sit in the back
Yeah,
unless Wyatt's there, and then maybe she does it.
yeah, yeah.
But
Awesome.
yes, so yeah.
Yeah, Hannah kind of adds to the uh, the cart as well. Because with hot dogs, hamburgers, the classic stuff for grilling over the campfire. Being a vegetarian, she's picked things up like American single cheese slices, some cans of tomato soup. Just make sure she has something that she can eat. But as she's grabbing stuff, she does turn to you and it's like, oh, I nearly forgot. Holly wanted to make sure we picked up some carrots so we could feed the horses at the ranch near her family's cabin.
Oh yeah, we can definitely grab that.
Sweet. So you guys round the corner to go to like the vegetables, looking, I imagine, for like a bag of carrots or something like that. And Jason, you actually run into someone you know. Um, there in Dominic's shopping for some groceries, you see Saba Mike, who you know is the owner operator of the Brownstown Taekwondo studio, where you and David both take classes. And he's kind of walking with another individual uh, who it's a bit weird. He's someone that you get the impression you have seen before. Like you kind of recognize him, though you've never met him. Um, it's almost one of those you have to kind of question, like, have I seen this person before, or am I just making stuff up? But this guy he's walking with is a tall, lanky man in his mid 40s. He's immaculately dressed in a pair of khaki trousers and a dark blue form-fitting button-down shirt, which he wears tucked in. He has dark brown, short-cropped hair that is turning gray on the sides. And as he's walking, his expression is a bit difficult to read. You'd think kind of landing somewhere between bored and annoyed.
Yeah, I'll. Jason definitely will walk up to Mike, his Taekwondo instructor, and kind of give him a greeting.
Yeah, at
Sub on.
first you take him by a bit surprise. He kind of does a little bit of jump back. He's like, "Oh, Jason!" And I mean, Mike. He has a warm and welcoming personality, and is outgoing to the point that he can sometimes come off as a bit too forward. But like he has a big smile when he sees you. He pats you on the shoulder, kind of puts up a fighting stance a little bit, throws some fake punches, and he's like, "How's it going, Jason? Working on your forms?"
Definitely, yeah, working on my forms. I'm actually lifeguarding over at the community pool, so trying to stay in shape that way. Got to get ready for the seasons coming up.
Yes, yes, good for you. With your work and your extracurriculars, you won't lose time for practice at the dojo.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be good.
Uh, cool. Yeah, at this, you see the man who's walking with him kind of approaches Saba Mike and kind of puts his hand tenderly on his elbow, kind of like, all right, let's move along. But Saba Mike doesn't take the hint, and kind of looks back to you and is like, "Oh, Jason, forgive me. This is my partner, Tom Caldwell." And you see something on Tom's face, like he's a bit surprised by the introduction, like maybe he wasn't ready to be introduced in that way. But there we are.
It definitely, Jason, who's normally a pretty observant person and is, kind of excels in a lot of things. I think, but being a child of the 80s and 90s, doesn't catch partner, so he thinks to himself, this must be like a business partner, and so he extends his hand to shake his hand. Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
And I take it, are a student of Michael?
Yes, Sub on Mike has been teaching our at the Taekwondo dojo for years now.
Yes, and hopefully with everything coming up, that he'll be able to continue.
Uh, oh, and I look over at Mike. Does that mean that the rumor I heard was true? Is that you're running for city council?
Ah, yes. So he kind of has a big smile. That warmth that you've come to expect from him, and upon asking him before he even replies, you actually do start to remember, and like maybe it's something that you uh you kind of filed away, but it hadn't registered to you, but you've actually started to see signs pop up in the front yards and greenways around town. Um, and perhaps the reason that they didn't register is, it's like vote Michael Reyes, not Sabam Mike, right? It's a little bit more formal.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sabam Mike smiles and he's like, "Oh yes, yes, this cycle, I have decided to finally do it. City council, here I come." And Tom kind of smiles and pats him on the back. And Sabam Mike addresses Tom and says, "Yes, Tom has been instrumental in helping design the signs and the whole campaign effort. I don't think I could have done it without him."
Well, let me know if there's anything me and my friends can do to help. I think you'd make a great addition to the city council.
Oh, well, that is very kind of you, Jason. Thank you. I will. And Tom, uh, seemingly, this is the first time his expression's been, as I said, kind of neutral to negative, but at that, it seems like he actually kind of warms up too, gives you like a half smile, and it's like, oh, thank you for that. We'll definitely keep you in mind. It would be nice to have the young vote more well informed of our platform.
And I'll say, well, unfortunately, I am still too young to vote. But and I look over to Hannah, who I assume is kind of like standing a little uncomfortably next to me.
Yeah.
And I put my arm around her and I say, but I'm sure that we can help out.
Nice. Oh, and at this, so Saba Mike again, being someone who sometimes lacks a filter and just kind of goes for what's on his mind, sees that as like, oh, is this your girlfriend?
No, this is Hannah Pope, my neighbor,
Oh, and Hannah's like, hi, and does like
and
the
my best
awkward wave.
and my best friend. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, one day, and Saba Mike kind of throws those shadow punches at you again. He's shipping you.
Yeah. Jason definitely just kind of actually kind of laughs a little bit, kind of too forced. Like,
Yeah, Hannah's in a very awkward.
yeah,
Yeah.
because Jason, I'm not sure how what he knows or what he feels right now, and also he's just like, this is awkward now.
Yeah, I think at that, like Tom is a lot more like socially aware and receptive to that. Okay, Mike, you've made it weird.
Yep.
And so he tries to interject a bit, and it's like, so what are you two doing this far out of Brownstown? Shopping for your families? He's kind of looking at the cart full of groceries.
Well, no, we're spending a couple of days out here. Us and some friends. We're gonna roast, have a campfire and roast marshmallows. And I look at Hannah, I'm like, we need I grab her like both her shoulders. We need marshmallows.
Like, I'm on it, and like immediately runs down the aisle to escape the situation.
Yeah,
Like, was waiting for an excuse.
but he definitely does it in that like way too aggressive, but also way too excited way. But yeah, we're a bunch of our friends are gonna be out here, and so we're doing stuff. We're just gonna go camping.
Oh, very nice. Well, have a good time. And Jason, you guys, the cabin is not here in Vandalia. It's in Campsville, which is several hours away. But
Oh yeah, we're preparing. I'll actually add that to the end, just so they like. Jason would not. Jason would totally tell an adult where he's going,
yeah,
especially one he trusts in this way.
Mhm.
He would say, "Yeah, we're actually just stopping here in Vandalia. The camp is actually several hours away over in. Sorry, what did you say it was?
Campville. Yeah.
Campville. Yeah. And it's a cabin. It's a family cabin that we're getting to use.
Oh well, I hope you guys enjoy your time. Kind of your last big bash before school begins, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, and I was really excited. I know we like Hannah and I were both really excited to come check out this this fresh store. Like it's this new fresh store in here in Vandalia.
Yes. Tom and I were very interested to see it as well. It's definitely it's the wave of the future. I keep telling him, and Tom's like, yeah, it's definitely a lot different from what we get back in Brownstown.
Right. And I'll even kind of I'll kind of stumble my way into this and say I agree. I think Brownstown is a little old fashioned, right? Like it's a good town and all, but the people and everything there is a little old.
Yeah. So give me a sharp roll,
Okay.
Jason.
Oh,
All right.
Nope. He's
Cool.
not
too sharp.
not too sharp.
So mark experience, but yeah, you say your thing, and yeah, the adults seem to kind of nod along, but that's kind of all you get from them at this point. Um, cool. So yeah, they kind of see that your friend has kind of ditched you there, and I think Tom is probably more the one who is like, all right, like we're probably keeping you, and like we have our own stuff to do. So he's kind of like, no, Mike, we should probably. And Mike's like, oh yes, Jason. It was so good seeing you. Enjoy your trip. Be safe.
I shake both of their hands again. Very,
Mhm.
that's how you deal with adults, right? So like, I'm basically an adult now.
Exactly. Awesome. Yeah. So you say your goodbyes. I assume you go meet Hannah in the Marshmallow Isles where she's like hiding.
Yeah, I go find Hannah, and I bring the cart over there, and I'm like, "Did you find the marshmallows and the chocolate? I assume."
Chocolate. So she like just chucks a bag of like extra big, those jumbo marshmallows into the cart
Yep.
and
Yep.
and runs off towards like the candy aisle.
Yeah, he just follows her around.
Awesome. Yeah. So you guys spend some more time there getting the essentials that you need for the trip, and
Before we
yeah,
leave, uh, is the Dominic's a kind of place that would sell beer?
it is if you're 21.
All right. So, uh, Jason will kind of look over at it and kind of look over at Hannah and be like, "Oh man, I wish we were 21. You just get beer."
Anna
Wyatt's probably got a
adds a
case.
thing of concentrated orange juice to the cart, like one of those, the little cylinders,
Yeah.
and shrugs.
I bet
Yeah.
you Wyatt's got a fake, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
could have planned this better of who went where, maybe. But
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find some place out in Campsville.
yeah.
It's just
Cool.
Jason's family is the kind of like family, and Hannah knows this, that it's the kind of family where like when you turn like 14 or 15, you're like the dad and folks start, like the uncles start handing you a beer can.
Of course, yeah.
Like when you're fishing or when you're hunting or whatever.
One of those things like you can do it in the house.
Yeah, it's like you're not
for
getting
special
drunk or anything.
occasions. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it's when you're camping, right? So it's almost like it's almost
Exactly,
part of the tradition. It's like you grab hot dogs and buns and beer.
Yeah. Well, and you guys, the plan is, you're doing your shopping today, and you're planning, because it is a 2-hour drive, you're going to meet up at your barn tomorrow. Like, everyone's going to gather there. So you will have some time in the morning. Like, who knows?
Okay.
Maybe you could talk to Dad and be like, hey, going camping.
Right.
I'm
Beers.
Some beer.
17 years old, 16 years old. How about doing me a solid? Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? There's still some time that
There's
we
still some
might explore that. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. So you guys kind of finish up your shopping. You feel like, with the sad unfortunateness of not being able to get alcohol, you guys kind of wrap up and head back out to the car park to meet up with the rest of the group. Which at this point, let's check in with. So, David, Jeff, and Wyatt, you guys are in Cabela's, which, if you don't know, it's a real retail chain that specializes in hunting, fishing, boating, camping,
Mhm.
shooting, and other recreation merchandise. And you guys have literally like just walked in the door.
All right, what do we need again?
I need a bunch of batteries for my Walkman.
Guns.
Wow. Don't you have a sword, David?
It's America.
I mean,
Yeah, sure. It's America.
am I not allowed to have a sword? I thought this was America.
Wyatt kind of takes a look back and forth and says, let's just go start browsing, see what we can find. He grabs one of those little carts to push along with him.
Like, do we have like sleeping bags and all that stuff, or is that what we're here to get?
That's what we're here to get.
Yeah. So, Holly has kind of shared with, when she did the pitch of, hey, let's go to my parents' cabin, or like, A, I have a cabin, B, let's go spend some time there, it'll be fun. She did tell you, like, this cabin is the type of place, there's 2 bedrooms, because it was built, she's an only child, and her father built the cabin, so it was definitely like, they built a room for the parents to have, and then one for their daughter. And, so the plan is to kind of have like a boys' room, girls' room situation, so everything will be, above board there. But it is,
So is Hannah
it's
just
like,
going to have a room to herself and Holly, and the rest of us going to be jammed in a room?
yeah, exactly.
100%.
That's how high school works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fully furnished place. It's definitely one of those like her mother and father, when they go there, when they have family trips there, it's one of those like they're going there to get away from civilization. So there is electricity, uh, but like there's no like TV, no VCR.
Mhm.
I mean, internet at this point is rare to begin with, but no computer or anything like that. It's
Sure.
kind of like there's puzzles and board games and stuff like that. There's a fully functional kitchen. Like there's silverware and stuff like that. So like you'll have beds to sleep in, but like some things you think might be useful are things like flashlights or bug repellent. Just things that being out in the woods, because Campsville is a wooded area, that you might need.
Yeah, so I think Wyatt's gonna start pushing the cart over towards the sort of like outdoor survival area where you would find like big bags of gorp and flares and fire lighters and stuff like that, and he's gonna just start sweeping stuff into the cart as he sees it. I'll be sure to type everything down that I get. So, but I'm definitely gonna get flint and steel.
50 feet of hempen rope.
50 feet of hempen rope. Just a normal adventurer's pack. So
Yeah.
open up the PHB, But like, stuff. He's definitely like he already has a lighter. He carries a lighter with him everywhere. But you never know if it's.
Does he smoke?
No. But it's a handy tool.
All right.
Well, at least he doesn't smoke around you guys.
Yeah.
Let's see, flint and steel. We need. You said it was furnished, but Wyatt's kind of a bit of a preparer, so he's gonna get sleeping bags for everybody, anyways. So that's sleeping bags. Wyatt kind of picks up a pair of those like fishing waders, and he just looks kind of puzzled at him, and he looks over at Jeff with like a puzzled glare or a puzzled look.
What?
So Wyatt picks up a pair of those fishing waders, like the rubber pants you wear to go fly fishing. And he's kind of examining them, and he looks confused, and he looks over at Jeff.
Man, fuck fishing. I hate fishing.
In all of my
Gods.
order training, we never did any outdoor stuff.
The outdoor stuff sucks, right? I don't know, man. Like, look,
You guys picked the
our
wrong
average,
people to
our
buy
average,
shit for
like
outdoors.
Jeff's here, like, our average Warhammer game takes like 4.5 hours. We're gonna need like at least 4 packs of double D batteries for these lanterns, if we're gonna get through one game.
Hell yeah.
Like, Jeff is definitely packing with all of the power and electronics because
Wait, so this cabin doesn't have power? David
Oh.
says.
that's what he
So,
said. He said there's no electricity.
There is. It's not on the grid, but there is a gas generator that
Okay.
will power electricity and stuff
So,
like that. But
yeah,
like, if you're going outside, lanterns aren't a bad call because they're
gonna get a couple of those green kerosene lanterns. You'd see you go camping with. They have that little sort of like little like mesh what do you call it, filament that you can light using the kerosene. So he's gonna grab 2 of those. It's at least to have 2, and some extra kerosene.
Dude, I don't. Like, what are all these sleeping bags here, man? Like, I got blankets and spare clothes in the back of the van.
Did you think it'd be enough for everybody?
We
Just-
probably need more.
Out of character.
He
a
said
little bit here.
remembering the smell of the clothes in
Yeah.
the back of the van.
Remember, they're kind of in a pile in the back of the van, and they're kind of at this point more furniture than clothes and
And-
blanket.
and Wyatt's pretty sure you've had sex on that pile, and he just doesn't want to deal with it.
Just so, what is your reaction to that? Is that what you say?
Well, okay, so after you say that, like he just kind of looks at you, and then I think we'll be all right, and he just continues pushing the cart.
That guy, man, he's probably just gonna steal all the shit here.
Well, that's rude. I mean, I was
I'm
going to, but that's rude.
I mumble under my breath.
Cool. So as Wyatt rounds the corner with the shopping cart, with David and Jeff following, David, you see the area of Capella's that when you entered, you kind of had some interest in. It is kind of the gun cabinet, and standing out in front of the kind of the gun zone is someone you all recognize. It is Principal Robert O'Shea. But at first, it is a bit difficult to recognize him. He's wearing khaki cargo pants, a green flannel shirt, and orange hunting vest, which is quite the contrast to the professional attire he normally wears around school. And he's holding a Remington Model 788 hunting rifle up to his eye and is puffing out his chest like he's staring down a deer. And he actually, he's kind of looking at himself in a mirror that's on a pillar that's kind of to his side. And he actually catches glance of you guys coming up behind him, and is kind of shocked by it. And when he goes to turn to kind of greet you, he swings the rifle around a bit wildly and ends up knocking down a display of thermoses.
Does
So
he
he
point the gun in our direction on accident?
no. He just as he's turning around,
I
he
see.
kind of forgets the
That he's
length
holding- I see.
of the and it just knocks over this display. So in a panic, he kind of puts the gun back onto the rack and goes down to his knees to start picking up the thermoses. All red, a bit flustered. But seeing you, he's like, "Oh, students, what are you doing here?"
Oh, why was-
Principal O'Shea, you fucking beef this shit all over the place.
He's just
Why-
getting redder and redder.
Wyatt
Doesn't
look-
know how to respond to that.
Wyatt looks over and he kind of chuckles at Jeff's joke, and then realizes that he's talking to his principal, and he straightens up a little bit, and then goes to try to help pick up some of the water bottles and stuff.
Oh, allow me to take a note. Cool. Yeah, he actually notices that you're actually being quite kind and helping him. Something he may
Principal.
not have pegged you for initially.
Principal O'Shea will remember this.
Yeah.
Hi, Principal O'Shea. I say.
Oh, David, Mr. Irving. Hello. I'm sorry to be a bit flustered. It's always awkward, as I'm sure you know, seeing students outside of school, as it would be for a student to see their teacher. Yes, I'm just preparing for this year's hunting season.
What's your game?
Bucks.
Oh, we play Warhammer.
Yeah. Hunting orcs this time.
Well, whatever keeps you kids off the streets and off the smack, I always say.
What's smack?
He's like, oh.
Somebody should
At
just
that-
smack
at
the
that,
backside of
Wyatt
David's head right
actually,
now.
Wyatt openly cackles. Just
Well, I feel like if someone were to smack him, then it should be Wyatt too. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's exactly what Wyatt is smack. That's what smack is.
like Wyatt laughs, but in kind of like a nervous way. Like he's trying not to.
The Philip Seymour Hoffman laugh.
Yeah.
From-
like trying to like change the subject. Say, so yeah, we're heading out camping, Principal O'Shea.
That sounds like fun.
You know,
I mean, a great
not
way to end
planning
the
any
summer.
trouble or anything like that. You know, and just going camping.
It's a great thing getting back in touch with nature. It reconnects us to our roots. Are you all? And he's kind of changing the subject because he's kind of beginning to like fantasize about all the fun he's about to miss
Sure.
out on having to go back to school. So like
Yeah.
he kind of changes the subject and is like, are you all ready for the school year to start? Have you been keeping up with the summer reading list?
Sure.
yes. I think I finished one of the books.
Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. Whew, was it was harrowing. It was harrowing.
Yes, indeed. He says, stacking the thermoses again.
I just picked up a copy of Mr. Vega's new book.
Mr. Vega has written a book.
I think so. I don't know.
Kind of turns to
Yeah,
Jeff.
that's what I heard.
Did that come out? Did his book come out?
Oh yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. I saw it in the supermarket the other day when I was shopping for my mom.
Huh.
Yeah, so Principal O'Shea kind of, he registers this, a bit, I think he's a bit unsure of what to think. Like, he hasn't seen the book, so, like, he doesn't want anyone at the school writing anything too raunchy, like, he's concerned about the reputation. But he kind of reels those feelings in and is like, oh, okay, well, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, our town might have itself a famous author. You never know.
Yeah, it's a science fiction book. Yeah. Spacemen from Vega 5 or something.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Mr. Vega definitely has a vivid imagination.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. Well. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Like, does it count for the reading assignment at least?
If it wasn't on the list, Jeff, Mr. Slocum, I'm sure you know it doesn't.
They never put the good shit on the list.
White sort of grins at Jeff.
Who cares about mockingbirds, man? I want to read about space stuff.
You do
Dinosaurs.
realize the book isn't about Mr. Slocum, this is a conversation between you and your English teacher next semester.
Well,
Whatever.
you know,
Whatever. I don't know. Don't
we're
care.
kind of on the clock there, Mr. O'Shea. We don't, we don't want to keep you.
Yes, of course. I will see you all in school in a few weeks' time. Enjoy your camping experience. He kind of says with this fake ass smile.
like
Have fun gaming.
White kind of gives a fake smile and a wave as he like sort of pushes the cart away from that section. Well, that was awkward.
I know, right? Fucking lame, man. Like, none of the cool books are ever on the list.
No. Okay. What else is on the list, Jeff? We've got some.
What was our
here.
summer reading? Because I don't even know.
Oh, Jeff has just a basket full of, like, batteries. Just,
Just
like,
batteries.
yeah. And, like, a few flashlights and lanterns. It's just like, we are going to have all the electricity and power.
Hell yeah.
Wyatt kind of walks by the camping section and he sees one of those like double wide sleeping bags and he kind of ponders for a second and then he shakes his head no and walks away and pushes the cart a little further.
Plus, I mean, if this cabin's lame, we can just camp out in the van. I mean, whatever.
We should probably get. Do they have pillows? He's like looking around for. Do you use pillows when you're camping?
I mean, I think you do. I mean, there are beds, right? Or no, wait. There's probably. I mean, there's. I don't know. We should. Yes. Pillows.
From what I've been told, there's 2 rooms.
I don't know, man. Hannah is a little, I don't know, religious. Like, do they sleep on beds or like just?
Wow. No.
White just kind of tilts his head sideways, like they're not aliens, Jeff.
I mean, isn't it like against God to be comfortable or something? I don't know, man.
Hannah has a bed. Trust me. He just pushes the cart away.
Like a soft bed?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Clams up immediately. Doesn't say a word.
Now Jeff's imagining Hannah's bed.
That crush coming back
exactly.
to the surface. Yeah.
No wonder Jeff doesn't like Wyatt. All right, so I'm gonna continue to sweep up some, random camping stuff. Get like, a hatchet, maybe some mittens for everybody, or
Nice.
like gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine everybody's probably bringing coats, so you need to do that. I'm gonna grab some like like a big ass like 5 pound bag of trail mix.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just
Cool.
writing all
Yeah,
this
Jeff,
stuff down.
David, is there anything? I know Jeff, you're covering the electronics. Which listen, my hat is off for you. That's important work. You're doing the
Yeah.
Lord's work
Doing
there.
the Lord's work.
Yeah.
But beyond the electronics and David, is there anything you particularly want to grab or feel you might need for what's to come in the woods?
Um,
I think Jeff
I
is
think I'm
definitely gonna
kinda-
grab a knife, like a hunting knife kind of thing.
Okay.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
take the stuff that you guys want down. So
yeah, David's not really sure.
he's never been
He's-
camping before.
Yeah, never been camping before, so he's like, "Do we need like water or something?"
Yeah, that's a good point. So I'll actually go and Wyatt will kind of push the cart over and try to look for like canteens.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you find some
But anyway, like,
canteens, thermoses. It's all kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that does bring you back around to where Principal O'Shea's kind of still looking
I'm
at the
just
gun.
gonna kind
but,
of hold my hand up to kind of block my vision. Like I don't see
Yeah,
him. he's
well,
not
yeah,
there.
and he kind of does the same. Like he catches you in the mirror again and just kind of makes a turn the other direction away from the thermoses to be like, no, I didn't see him. They can't prove it, right?
Yeah. They didn't see me. I wasn't here.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. So we've got a hunting knife. We've got flares. Got some backup food, which is some trail mix, mittens, hatchet, lantern, sleeping bags, some fire lighters. Flint and steel, just in case. We've got a hatchet. So what else do we need? Anything else that we need? Actually, Wyatt will actually wake his way over to try to find somebody and just ask some advice for first-time campers.
I'd like to have a conversation with David while he's doing that.
Yeah, please do. Let's check in on that conversation first, and then we'll meet with the store employee.
Yeah, totally fine with that. Go ahead.
All right.
So David, like, you got your army ready for the game?
Yeah, not everything's painted. It's kind of hard with the what's her name, his sister,
yeah.
on me all the time.
Yeah, man.
What you
Like,
painting? What you painting? What you painting?
your parents, your lame ass evil step parents, at least had good places for painting.
Yeah, I mean, I could be by myself. They tended to not care as long as I was, up on my studies or whatever for the order.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's okay, man. Don't worry about the paint. Like, we'll have it already. But like next time I'm gonna get you any non-painted model that's like you can't field it. But this time we're gonna.
Yeah, we gotta.
We haven't played a game in a while, and like this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, and you're playing orcs. I'll be doing Imp Guard today.
Nice, big, massive armies, tanks. Yeah, get you.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun with trying to get them all painted.
As a point of clarification for me, just as I'm noting things down, the intention here is to bring these on the camping trip. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. They're probably like already in a car.
People
Yeah.
like there's gonna be a gas generator. They might turn off. There's gonna be no power. We're just gonna have like flashlights and lanterns, and we're gonna be playing Warhammer all night.
That sounds like an amazing experience. Okay, please continue.
While all the older teenagers are gonna have like weird, awkward sexual tension. We're gonna be fighting over rules.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like, who needs relationships anyway, man, right? Like, that any girl looks at you like, yeah, that's cool, like, totally hit that. But like, I mean, bachelors for life, man, right? Like, I don't really do relationships anymore. I'm like a new man now.
Technically, if I'm still following my order here, not supposed to do all of that stuff.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, still, I don't know how whatever you need to do to get you some. I mean, I don't know. That's weird. I mean, are you sure you want to stay dedicated to that kind of thing?
I don't know. It's hard to know what I do and don't know at this point.
Wait,
So
wasn't I made part of your order? Does that mean I can't?
I don't know yet. I'm still sorting through that stuff, man.
Because that ship has sailed. Like I might be a really, I might have screwed that one up.
I feel like it's like it would be like a not anymore kind of thing. I don't know. Don't like. I'm still trying to sort through it myself.
Yeah, all right, man. I mean, chill. Think you should get you some whenever you get the chance. But I mean, badges for life, right? And I just like try to like high five you.
Yeah, I kind of do it like awkwardly, like yeah.
You miss the first time and have to like, oh no.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. So like, I think we got enough. I don't know. Like, do we need any more? Anything else you think to get through the game?
I think we're pretty good. I got all my dice and stuff.
We got a card table, right?
I don't know.
I was gonna bring mine. Do you think we're gonna
I'm
need
sure
another?
there's a table there.
Yeah, fair enough. There's probably something there, but either way, I'll bring my card table.
All right, it fits in the van.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, cool.
What's that? What's that guy up? What's Wyatt up to?
Cool. So as you make your way over to go meet up with Wyatt again,
Which guy?
Wyatt. Wyatt, you are currently having a conversation with one of Cabela's employees. His name tag identifies him as Matt, and you've been having a conversation with him for a little bit now, and like he's kind of looked over your stuff and has given you the, hey man, this looks good, but it's also been a very difficult conversation. He is someone who you get the impression is very into camping and very knowledgeable about things, and is definitely like been talking your ear off this whole time about no, if you really want the best outdoor experience, you need the Model T95 tent. Like if you're in a cabin, I'm sorry, you're not really camping, you're vacationing. And like he's just been going off.
He's just like, that's wonderful, guy. Oh, ooh. I hear what you're saying there.
And David, Jeff, you kind of come to this guy just talking at Wyatt.
Wyatt gives Jeff's like the help me please eyes.
I cross my arms and I lean back and I just watch for a minute.
Like, so
yeah, man.
I say, hold on just a second. If you want to meet somebody who's just really into camping, you need to meet my friend Jeff here. Jeff, come on over.
What?
I was just telling Matt here that you are the biggest fan of camping. Like I told him that you've been camping 50 times. Did you know that, Matt? 50 times.
50 times. Wow. Well, you're a little under me, but I won't hold that against you. And he kind of gives you a jostle on the shoulder. He's like, but I love to meet a fellow outdoorsman, but I tell you what, and he kind of ruffles your head, like not having any care about your boundaries. And he's like, you got to shave this off. All that long hair, that's a festering ground for ticks.
Okay, I while he's doing that, I want to sneak away.
Yeah, man. That's
Let's
exactly...
do Wyatt, give me a cool roll.
All right. Let's do it. Bam.
No.
All right. You do so. It's a mixed success. So he definitely clocks that you're leaving, but I think like because he's the type of person who just wants to talk to people, he's fine having Jeff there to
as
be
long
his.
As he's not talking to me anymore, I'm fine with it. Good.
Listen, man. What do you think the future of camping is like? Like, imagine it's the 41st millennium. What do you think people would be camping like up then?
Excellent. So we're gonna montage this because Jeff, I think you blow this guy's mind. Like I think you definitely turn the tables on him, and like when you leave him, his eyes look like he's not going to be the same man he was when he entered work today. Like he's thinking about the grim darkness of camping in the far future.
Hell
and
yeah.
you just walk away smug as hell.
Nice.
Cool.
Beware the dangers of the warp.
Yeah, you guys, you gather your stuff. You pay no problem. Wyatt obviously has money. Jeff and David, the money contribution from you guys might have been a little less, but like everyone in the group is committed to doing this together. Like everyone pitched in to help everyone else out. So it was no problem. And you guys are kind of pushing your cart out with all your bags towards the van. And you kind of see in the distance walking towards his truck, Hannah and Jason with all the bags of groceries. And you kind of meet up in the parking lot of the shopping center.
Oh shit! What is this? Thanksgiving? Is this like a
Language.
holiday? Oh,
Hannah yells across the parking lot.
I mean, shit. No.
Language.
Fuck.
She's like irritated with you.
Jason fully
Damn it.
embraces
No.
group dad. No, Jason fully embraces group dad and is like, I can take this back inside.
Wyatt approaches Hannah and pulls her in for a hug, and he says, "I'll have a talk with him later."
Jeff is just trying to not curse at this point.
It's so difficult.
It's like
Fuck! Shit! Oh, fuck! Shit! Damn it! Fuck! Oh!
exactly. God, no! Fuck!
So Wyatt kind of like, pushes the cart over towards you guys. He's like, "We got some good stuff. You guys ready for camping?"
Yeah, I'm super excited. I know Holly is as well.
Yeah, I've never been camping before.
So I'm gonna kind of glance over that.
I elbow David when she mentions Holly.
Nice. Okay.
I'm gonna kind of glance over and look at the food. What sort of snacks did you get? Ooh, and he's gonna start like snooping through the bags.
Yeah, I will say this is just real quick, David. This is a bit of a point of interest because you're aware of Holly. Obviously, Hannah's mentioned to her, and she's been in your presence before, but she is actually a new addition to Brownstown, having just moved here with her family over the summer. She is planning on going to school. She's a year older than you.
So she'll be a junior then,
but
right?
exactly, yeah. But you two haven't talked all that much. It's kind of been like she's someone you kind of know of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, kind of person that if addressed me by name, I'd be like, "Whoa, that's weird. Way too formal."
No, that might
Way
happen
too
since she is
forward.
coming with you this weekend, but
Yeah.
it might be like,
I
David,
know.
pass me the salt, but yeah.
Like, "Shh, who I am."
So yeah, after Wyatt, kind of pokes through the bags in a little bit, he's gonna sidle over to Jason and be like, "Are you guys able to get beer?
Yes.
You were able to
100%.
get beer? Great.
No. We weren't able to get it. I want to get it.
I'll hook you up."
Excellent.
He tries to say it so that Hannah doesn't overhear.
Right.
Does he have to make a roll for that?
Yeah, go ahead, actually. Yeah, let's roll cool for me again, would you, Wyatt?
I will do so.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Hannah took note, actually, Jeff, when you gave David the nudge in regards to Holly. Do a sharp roll, Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a sec here.
Jason will also, when he does the nudge, will kind of like have a big smile, like a knowing smile. Be like, yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to find the button to click here. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, excellent. So yeah, you see Jason give the big smile when you give him the nudge, and the impression you get from Hannah, because Hannah's the closest among you with Holly, you kind of get the impression that if you've heard any rumors in regards to Holly, Hannah has either A, probably heard them too, or like B, knows exactly what the truth of the matter is regarding those rumors, right? Like girls talk, right?
Right. And maybe Jeff
Or
has
she
heard
seems-
those rumors. Or maybe Jeff's just trying to get his buddy laid.
Yeah. So regardless, I think she is more interested in this conversation happening now than the beer. So Wyatt and Jason, you two are free to talk without the group mom's wrath coming down on you.
All right.
I go ahead and I slip him like $40 like from my pocket, just like I'm like, this is what my dad. Yeah, this is what my dad gave me. He said when we were coming out to get beer, this would be just a couple of cases of cheap beer.
As Wyatt sort of slips the cash into his wallet, he pops out his fake ID, where his name is just David Johansen, and he's 26 years old.
Okay, nice. And you're gonna buy this? Are you buying this later? Or are you buying this now at Dominic's?
Probably gonna go to a store he's more familiar with.
Okay.
As he hasn't tried his fake here at Dominic's, and plus the principal's nearby, and doesn't want to chance another meeting while he's buying a big stack of beer.
That's smart. That's smart.
So he knows where and when to start doing bad things, and right now is not one of them. So he will try to make a beer run tonight before we head out in the morning. He'll go to one
Sounds
of his normal
great.
spots.
Yeah, so speaking of that, unless anyone has anything they want to kind of discuss in the parking lot while you're loading up the groceries into your respective vehicles,
Oh, did we not all drive together?
so you took two vehicles, a van and Jason's truck was my
Oh, okay,
understanding.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep. That's correct.
And so you load things up, and you make a plan to meet tomorrow morning at the Armstrong family barn, which is kind of your like de facto headquarters. Hannah's going to bring Holly with her over there. She's going to pick her up in the morning. You want to leave fairly early in the morning, because it is a 2-hour drive, and you want to get there with enough time that Friday to have fun and do activities. So what time do you guys all agree to meet up?
We're high school kids, so probably like 9:30 is probably like gonna be the earliest.
All right, 9:30 works for Hannah, and I'm sure Holly will be fine with that. That work for you guys?
Yeah, it works for David. David will be up ready probably before Wyatt is.
Sweet.
Jason will look over at Hannah and be like, Hannah, is Holly gonna spend the night at your house so that way we can just leave in the morning? Like, what's
Or
the
yours.
Yeah. You know what? Let's say, that Thursday going into Friday, Holly is spending the night at Hannah's, and they're just leaving from her place to head to the barn. Yeah, that works. Sweet.
Cool.
So you guys pack up and head to your respective places for the evening. At some point during that night, Wyatt, you are doing a beer run. Just to see how that goes, let's go ahead and take another cool roll from you.
All right, here we go. Cool roll. Pretty damn cool.
Yeah. David Johansen is not questioned. You go to a place that you know well. It's a place your crew has probably gone to multiple times. The guy who works there is not someone you recognize. He's a kid, probably himself. Something like 22 or something like that, going to the community college. And he doesn't even look up from the comic book he's reading. It's an X-Men comic book from Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it's got a Pizza Hut ad on the back.
Yeah.
I remember those.
He doesn't even look up when you buy the beer. He's just like, "Thank you," and it takes the money.
All right.
And you guys all head to bed. So I'm gonna take just a quick break to use the restroom, but
Sounds
we will
good.
then start up that next morning.
Unless something else happens, at some point, Jason will Boy Meets World his way up to Hannah's room.
Okay.
Just to check in on them, but and see how they're doing. But otherwise,
does the little guitar twang go off?
Yeah.
Or kind of like Closer Explains It All is the
yeah,
Cool.
definitely closer to
Cool. Yeah. So before I use the restroom, let's just cover that real quick. So yeah, you kind of head up to her window and give a knock, and you see both the girls. They're decent. You see Hannah and Holly kind of sitting on her bed. It looks like they're kind of laughing, and Hannah, who's a year older than Holly, seems much more like confident in their dealings. Like Holly definitely, like her body language is kind of closed off, and like she's smiling and like kind of blushing, but it's like you kind of get the impression like she's so surprised she's met friends this early, and Hannah seems so cool, and like they share a lot of the same values, and like she's just like super pumped and doesn't want to ruin anything type vibe, right?
Well, and Jason, like beyond being the guy that he is, which he's definitely the all-star jock, Mr. Popular, whatever, also is a little bit, I think, extra protective of Hannah right now after Becky Winston
Yeah, after all of her friends abandoned her and became
uh,
demons.
Yeah.
and became demons, or were demons originally and were there just to infiltrate her. And the group. And so that's actually one of the things he's doing now is he's just like he'll just like very casually like knock on the window and like bring over like cookies or something that his mom had baked for the trip. And so he'll like,
Cool. So
I
like,
assume there's like a trellis he climbs up.
yeah, and I think because I think we've discussed this before. I think there's like a trellis, and like her window is on like an outcropped section of roof, so you guys can
Yep.
actually like sit out on the roof and talk and stuff like that. So like, yeah, you climb up, knock on the window with a thing of cookies, and like Hannah sees you, smiles and waves, goes over to open the window, and like Holly seems again a bit more reserved, a little nervous. She kind of tucks a strand of hair behind one ear, kind of looks at you and gives a sheepish wave.
Yeah, I waved back.
It's
Jason
definitely
waved back.
kind of like, oh, there's boys here now. I don't know how I feel about that,
Right, they're in their pajamas or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and Jason kind of knowing that and like knowing this thing, he like normally he would definitely Boy Meets World. He would just like crawl into the bedroom, because I don't think his and like Hannah's relationship is such that they've never like, I mean, they've had kind of his will they won't they stuff, but realistically they're like beyond that kind of thing, or maybe they're pre like that hasn't happened yet either, to where at this point he's like, no, he brings a blanket up and he's like sitting on the roof with a blanket and like these cookies, and so he's just like hanging out outside, and like welcomes, he's like, hey, come have some cookies, my mom made these, and like look at the stars, these are great.
Yeah, I think this is like old hat for Hannah. So she comes out and like, again, Holly, a bit more hesitant and like stays on the bed like a noticeable amount of time longer, and then kind of like slowly begins walking over, and Hannah's like, no, it's okay, you can come out, he's not gonna bite, much like yeah, I realize.
Jason kind of like starts to laugh, but then like gives like a side eye to Hannah.
Yeah, she didn't mean it like that, much like I didn't mean it like that, but then remembers your
Yep.
affliction. Yeah, Jason, much like David, Holly's another one. Like, she's been hanging out with Hannah, so you may have gotten a little bit more FaceTime with her, and Hannah's definitely talked to you about her and stuff like that. Hannah thinks she's really cool. Hannah's also a little hesitant, knowing that she's had some unlucky circumstances with friends recently.
Yeah.
And I think like there is a part of her that's maybe like clinging to this more than is healthy. Like, you're my friend now, we're gonna be friends, nothing's ever gonna happen. But yeah, you haven't talked to her all that much, and this is kind of the first time you two have really hung out outside of like chance meetings, right?
Yeah. And he'll just be like, hey, Holly, like, you excited to go visit the cabin?
Yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys my place. My father built it, and it's kind of been a very special place. We usually go there every summer. With the move and everything, we weren't able to this year, so I'm glad that I still get to. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
cool.
super thoughtful. Thank you for inviting us all.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you for being so welcoming and letting me be a part of your group. It's really cool. I was really worried about having friends when school started, So it's been really nice. Hannah's been really nice. She kind of turns,
Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah, Hannah's great. I look over at Hannah as I hand Hannah a cookie, kind of implicitly giving her permission to eat a cookie because I know
Yeah,
she won't otherwise.
yeah. She eats the cookie.
All right, that's awesome. I was like, what? We haven't really gotten the chance to chat much. Like, where are you from? Like, what's your
Oh,
story? He kind of leans in.
um, well, so my family's from St. Charles, Missouri. I've lived there most of my life. Um,
Misery, huh?
yeah,
He gives the old tired joke.
yeah. I mean, it. I enjoyed it. We came from a very conservative town. I'm very big on values. Thankfully, it seems that crossing the border, um, it hasn't been too much different. They still have a really great church community here. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's not like we're
excited.
all dancing in the field and raising demons or something like that.
She kind of laughs like, yeah, yeah. It's who would think.
Who would think?
Um, but yeah, no. Hannah told me that you do a lot of sports, and
Yeah.
that's really exciting because um I play the flute, and I'm really
Oh,
looking forward to maybe going out for marching band once school starts. So
I'm sure
maybe
they could use you.
I'd
Yeah.
see you at
Yeah.
games and stuff. Um, yeah. Do your friends do any sport?
Um, not really.
Oh,
I mean, Hannah's too good to play sports. They wouldn't let her on the team because she would just win everything.
Hannah just kind of gives her that look of like, no. Yes.
uh, Wyatt's not really the sports kind of guy. He likes. He could probably do it if he wanted to, but I don't know. It's not never been his thing. Uh, like I think I'm gonna try to get David to come out and play some sports. I think he would
Yeah.
be really good.
Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. He looks like he could do sports well.
yeah. I mean, he and I have both we've taken Taekwondo for years together, so I know he's athletic enough.
Oh.
So, and we work well together. We've definitely, group projects and stuff. He's he's kind of that natural leader type person, takes charge,
Oh wow,
gets
he
things
he really
done.
takes his studies seriously.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
then
very good for him. She says, pushing another strand of hair behind her ear.
Jason just smiles over at Hannah, and
And it gives you the knowing look.
yep, yep. And yeah, and Jeff is a good kid. But he's much. I don't know if being part of he's a really big team player. Uh, you wouldn't think of it, but little Jeffrey Slocum is, well, he's the hero of Brownstown, right? He's just a really good
All right.
guy.
Well, he's really close with David.
Very
Right.
close to David. Yeah, looks up to him
He
a lot.
seems. I mean, he's a bit kind of wild.
Yeah,
What? And she kind of motions to like the hair. Yeah, like.
yeah. I mean, he drives fast, listens to loud music. He's a good kid though.
Oh,
His heart's in the right place, and he's got a lot of heart. So I think,
that's good.
yeah.
Yeah. She like just starts. She looks down, like obviously a little bit embarrassed, and starts like eating the cookie to like stop her from incriminating herself any further.
Yep. He accepts that, and he's like starts pointing out like constellations or what from his memory. He's like, look at that,
Mm.
like look at these things. The Mercury's in retrograde right now. It happens 3 times a year. It's actually just because blah blah blah. He's like starts explaining like astronomy.
Nice, sweet. Yeah, they kind of listen with that interest that teenage girls can muster about astrology.
Right.
Yeah, cool. Anything else that you kind of you wanted to glean from them, or you wanted to share, or try to information you wanted to gather during that time?
Like I will mention. I'll be like, I'll mention that. You know, if Holly gets up at any point and like leaves, like to go to the bathroom or something, I will mention to Hannah. I'll be like, hey, did you hear that Brian Piper is not going to be coming back to Brownstown?
Okay, so yeah, let's say Holly gets up, use the bathroom. You mentioned that, uh, and Hannah gives you a look of surprise, and she's like, "No, that's the first I've heard of it."
Yeah, I heard it that his dad talked to Principal O'Shea, and they're going to transfer him over to a school, like a correctional school in St. Elmo.
Um, wow. Do you? I mean, it it has to be because of us. I mean,
100%.
I broke his rib last time I interacted with him in
Yeah,
school.
but that breaking his rib saved his life, right? Like he like Jason definitely pitches his voice down really low at this point because he's like breaking his rib saved his life because he was on the path he was on was going to get him killed.
Have have you like have you talked to any teachers or like Principal O'Shea during the summer? I mean, I'm if Brian Piper told Principal O'Shea about what's happened or some of what we're doing, we could be entering this new school year in a very tough spot.
I haven't talked to anybody, but I can try to run into him once we get back from the camping trip. I mean, realistically, I doubt that he would have said anything that would have affected us at all because, I mean, he would have had to then explain why he brought a gun to school or all the other things that he did.
Right. Right. And this is probably for the best for him. Like he'll get things sorted out and he'll be a better person because of it. Like we should be happy that
Yeah.
this is happening. I like it that Holly pops out again. It's like happy that what is happening.
And very, very casually, and I'm happy to make the roll on this.
Mhm.
Jason slides into, oh, Sabam Mike, my Taekwondo instructor, is running for city council.
Sweet. Yes. Cool. Wow.
The coolest you could possibly be.
Yeah. Excellent. Um, she was like, "Oh, what is a sabam?"
It's like a teacher, like an instructor.
Oh, is he at the school?
No, he's just the he runs the Taekwondo dojo that David and I go to.
Oh, that yeah, you and David.
Yeah.
So David knows him too.
David knows him too. He's kind of like a mentor to us both.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
You guys are like involved in civics. That's very responsible. As she kind of says,
Yeah.
like with a big smile.
Well, and Mike is a great guy. Like Mike is super helpful. Like he's always been the person that's always been available to me whenever I need help. I really want him. I think he'd be really good in the city council. He owns his own business. Like, you know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know him, but I'm already excited for him. I hope he
Yeah.
wins.
And I look over at Hannah like, what? Like you know Mike, right? Like you don't know him that well, but like, what do you think?
Okay. That's gonna require a roll from Hannah based on
Yeah.
her interactions. So, here's a sharp roll. She's not that sharp. Um,
Ooh.
okay. Yeah.
Sharp enough.
She kind of looks at you and is like, yeah, no, Mike seems very um open to self-expression. And it kind of says eating another cookie. like try to.
Like Jason's definitely just like leaned in, like, what?
Oh, yeah. I mean, uh, um, you know what? It's probably not my place to talk about. And she like grabs another cookie.
Ooh. Okay. You don't want if you don't want to talk about it, we don't gotta. But I mean, I think he'd make a great addition for the city council. He's been nothing but a helpful person.
Oh, and like at that, like with like just mouthful of cookie, Hannah's like, and like is like gives you the eyes of like, yeah. She thinks like he would be like she kind of agrees with you in that he probably has some insight and like a read on the pulse of like some changes that are probably well overdue in civic policy and stuff like that. So.
Yep.
But you can't say any of it because her mouth is full of cookie.
And that's okay. Jason will kind of take the hint though, that she kind of bailed out of this, and so he'll kind of like stretch and like yawn suddenly, like, oh man, I'm tired actually. You know what? We're gonna get up really early. I know we're not gonna meet the boys until like 9, but I get up really early, so whenever you guys are up, feel free just to come out and load up the truck. I'll leave it unlocked, and I'll be up and ready to go.
All right. Sounds great. So yeah, you head back home. The girls head back inside. And with that, let me go ahead and use the restroom.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll start that Friday morning as folks wake up. And Jeff, you're on deck. We'll start with you. We'll be right back.
Sweet. All right.